So hi Alex.
Hello.
Thank you very much that you are here.
My pleasure.
We really appreciate that you're sharing the knowledge, what you have, and how it all started. You felt the urge to teach vegans, activists?
Yeah, I was looking for a way to contribute to the movement, to the animal rights movement, and I realized that I was teaching salespeople on how to communicate well with others, and realized like there was a need to do this in the animal rights movement because so many of us communicate with others about this message, right? We talk about animal rights, we talk about veganism. So in order to help people avoid, arguments and debates and conflict over these things, I think sharing the framework that I use for communicating in sales and to getting people to, building rapport with people was really important, and that's why I started doing it. Yeah.
Okay. And how you define yourself now? How you put a label on yourself? You are an activist, a frontliner, a coach?
Yeah.
Both? Everything?
Yeah, I would say everything. I mean, I think most people are activists at some level. They do different types of things, even if it's just speaking with people to try and help animals. So yeah, I would call myself an activist. I guess in a way like a coach or an educator. Like I share a lot of knowledge that I have with people and hope that they find it useful. So yeah.
Do you see any internal challenge regarding to veganism just now in this recent moment?
An internal challenge, you mean like within the movement, you're saying? I mentioned it earlier in the workshop, and I think that one of our challenges is remaining understanding and empathetic and non-judgmental with each other, because a lot of us can do that when we're speaking to. I mean, we struggle sometimes, but that's the point of the workshop, to try and make us better at that. But we know that we shouldn't be that way, maybe with other people who haven't yet been introduced to veganism or haven't been able to make changes or whatever that is. But we're really, really hard on each other. We judge each other for not being vegan enough, or for making certain decisions that we don't agree with. And I think that it might be one of our biggest struggles as a movement, is just being more understanding and accepting different points of view. There's different ways to advocate for animals. There's different forms of activism. And just because my form of activism is different than your form of activism doesn't mean that I should go on Facebook and tell everybody how stupid you are. And that's kind of the challenge, is we have to be more accepting and maybe more curious to learn. If you have a reason for doing activism a certain way, maybe I should take time to ask you and learn about it to make my opinion up before I just start bashing it, because a lot of people are very quick to defend their own actions, their own egos, and bash other people without fully understanding. So that's what I think is our biggest challenge, maybe. Challenge and opportunity, maybe. If we can do that better, we can grow, I think, more kind of unified as a movement.
I completely agree with you, yeah. As I mentioned, I'm a nutritionist, and I'm also challenging this veganism about the health style. And what do you think? Being an unhealthy vegan can spread a bad message about us? If they not concentrate on being healthy a lot, and maybe that they can be a bad example, or it's not so important at all?
Well, so are you asking in a way, is there like an ethical issue with us being unhealthy as vegans because we represent something? I wouldn't go that far to say. I mean, okay, so my personal feelings is when I started working out and I started going to the gym, which I haven't been doing for a while now, but when I did start going, I was going for about a year and a half, and I was actually getting a little bigger. The reason why I did that was for one reason, really. No, not for one, but the main motivator was to represent veganism better. So when people looked at me, I wasn't, the skinny kind of vegan, right? And that's helpful. I think it's helpful in my outreach, but it's not necessary. And I think that it's also good to show in a weird way, like I want everybody to be healthy, but if someone chooses to eat junk food or whatever, and it only affects them, I think it's still interesting that people can see that, hey, wait a minute, vegans aren't these like super healthy freaks. They're normal people. There's people that look different shapes and sizes, and they eat different things, and some people eat healthy, some people don't. So I think it's important for people to realize that veganism doesn't equal healthy, veganism is an ethical principle about non-harm and respect for other living beings, but it doesn't mean that you have to be healthy. Now, if you want to include yourself in that, do you have a responsibility to take care of yourself? Yeah, I think so, but I wouldn't, again, like I was saying, I wouldn't point my finger at someone if they weren't, and that's where you get into the complex issues of, well, what is healthy? Is it just a vegan diet? Is it a whole foods non-GMO? Is it raw vegan? Is it a fruitarian? And then different people have different opinions on that. So again, people should do what they think is best for them and what they think is healthy. And I love the work that you do, and I hope you try to inspire people on how to live healthier lives and be healthier for themselves. But I don't see like an ethical issue with someone not being the healthiest version of themselves because it harms the movement or harms the vision or the impression that people have of vegans. I don't think, for me, it's not an issue.
Okay. And my last question, how you became a vegan?
Well, I stopped eating animal products. That's how I became a vegan. I was introduced to the idea of veganism by a coworker. She was vegan, and I went into her office one day and I said, "Why are you vegan? That's crazy."
You asked questions.
Yeah. I was curious. I was like, "Well, why would you do that? Like, why would you not eat animal products?" And she took out a piece of paper and she wrote down forks over knives and told me to go watch that documentary. So I went home and I watched it, and I learned about the health benefits of reducing or eliminating animal products. And I was like, okay, that's interesting. I never really thought about that before. And I did start reducing, but I was in no way vegan. I still loved my chicken wings, and I still loved, the steaks and stuff that I used to eat. So, but I was still curious. So I kept looking for more information online and researching, and I came across the documentary Earthlings. And I watched it, and I cried a lot. And at the end of that documentary, it was the easiest decision that I ever made in my life. I was instantly vegan, and I just, from that moment on, I never consumed any animal products. I went into my kitchen, I threw out all the animal products I had. I was so moved by how horrible we treat other living beings that I had just bought a brand new leather couch. I got rid of it. I had got a car with leather seats. I worked to get rid of it. I didn't, I had leather bags I used to wear to work. I just got rid of everything because I just couldn't, I just made the connection, like, holy crap, this is the skin of an animal who didn't want to die, who didn't need to die, because it's luxurious and it's fancy and all that craziness, So, when I made that connection, it was pretty easy, and that's why, as much as I believe that it's way healthier to be a vegan, the main motivator for me is just that respect for other living beings. I consider myself an animal lover, and I was definitely not demonstrating that to animals when I was paying people to hurt them. So that's how I became vegan and why I'm vegan.
Thank you very much. It was the first half part of the workshop, half day, and I'm really excited for the second one. So let's come and see tomorrow at Simpla Garden if you're interested. Thank you very much.
Cool,
again.
no problem. Thank you.